Hello peeps, welcome back to Overwatch. This is going to be a little video just to kind of show you some of the map. Because I've seen like a few people talking on the forums and on Reddit and stuff saying that this map is really difficult to attack, and it's almost always a guaranteed win if you're playing on defense. So if you're playing from attack, you've got three options of leaving this kind of big sand crawler type vehicle. You've got one here which will bring you out this way, which I don't think many people ever use, but it is there. You've got this main entrance here, and then if we go around this way we have this one here. So most of the time people get up to this area here and they find that they're just met with a barrage of bullets and explosions and death in general. And this is like the first kind of choke point. And it's quite difficult for people to work together as a team, especially with pugs, to actually get past that area. Now there are a few ways around. As Farah or Widowmaker, you can get on top of here. So if there's anyone in this area up here where I'm shooting now, this might make it a bit easier for you to pick them off. But it also allows you from here to get to other places. So that from there you can then get up onto here as Farah, and you normally find there's a Bastion or a Torbjorn's turret or something in this kind of area. But obviously you've got to make sure that once you are up here that you don't get shot down immediately, which can sometimes happen. So it's best to kind of scope out exactly what you're up against before trying that tactic. Also from here you might find across this area that there is a Widowmaker or a Hanzo to deal with as well. So that's something to bear in mind. Now for most characters that can't climb up onto the top there, they have to go one of three ways. They can go through this archway and go head straight towards the objective, which is there. Or they have to come in through this archway and either go in to the right and through this doorway here, or they go through the left and into this doorway here. Now depending on what your team has, or what the enemy team has I should say, it kind of depends on what your team has too, but one of the most efficient ways I've seen is to have a Reinhardt with his shield up moving forward here, and then people sneaking up past while he's got his shield up, sneaking by and getting into this room. Now this room is one of the favourites for Symmetra to put her turrets and stuff, so that's something you need to be wary of before just blindly running in, because if she has got them you're probably going to get about as far as here before you're going to die if you don't take them out beforehand. But once you do make it through here, you've got this courtyard area, which is as far as you can fly up over. You don't land on those bits, you do land on these bits, so you can get through this way, which can be quite nice. The alternative way is to go through this way, but this way is a little bit more claustrophobic. You haven't got as much room to maneuver around. And when I play as Junkrat, I quite like to put his trap, his like bear trap and his explosive trap on the ground here to catch anyone that does try and get through here, because obviously there's a health pack right there. If people come through this way, maybe they've taken a bit of damage, they'll go, oh, I want to get the health pack, and then they get stuck. If you come through this route, take this route, you can go straight ahead to the checkpoint, which is here, or you can do a right and you can come up these stairs. Now from these stairs you can go into this room, which will take you to here, so you can fire down towards here if you need to, or into that building there, or even into that bit area over there if you need to. Or alternatively, you can go up these stairs here. Health pack there, which is quite nice. And then you've got the option of firing from here into this building. Across here, if there's any like Hanzo or Widowmaker across here. You can also fire into this room here. You've got a fairly good spot to fire down on. Sometimes get a bastion down there, and then you can walk down here as well. Obviously, if you're playing Farah or Widowmaker, then there's like ways of you being able to get. Actually, no, you can't because they're invisible walls. Okay, I thought you might be able to get up there, but they're invisible walls. Can I get on top of there? I wonder. Nope, that's an invisible wall as well. Okay, that's good to know. So some places you can't get to because of invisible walls, and that kind of sucks. But what are you going to do? You can get over here, which is quite a nice little spot. If you maybe people wouldn't see you from over here, and from here you've got a good view of that area. As I say, like, you quite often get Widowmakers and Hanzos and stuff up there. Sometimes even the occasional Junkrat. But you get a good view of the health potion that's down there. Health potion, health pack, med pack. So there we go. So that's how you get into this area. Now, as I say, it all depends on your class makeup of your team, your hero makeup, how many different types of characters you have, and what your opponents are running. I would suggest either a Winston or a Reinhardt for your tank, just to be able to get you through this choke point, because it is really tough to get through there. You might even need 2 healers to begin with, either like a Lucio and maybe a Mercy or a Zenyatta. Zenyatta could be quite useful, putting his Orb of Discord on targets, making them easier to take out. That could be quite useful, but you'll probably need maybe 2 tanks and 2 healers to begin with, just to get you through this initial area. That might be a bit overkill, but you might not have enough damage to actually push through. But it's worth considering if you're really struggling. And then you want heroes with mobility, like Farah, that can fly around, do quite a lot of damage. Maybe Tracer, because she's quite nippy and quite difficult to shoot. Because more often than not, there is a Bastion sat on this ledge here, and maybe a Torbjorn's turret sat on this ledge here, or maybe kind of on the stairs here. And you want something that's going to have quite a lot of mobility to make it more difficult for those things to actually hit you. So Soldier 76, maybe not so much to begin with, but maybe once you've captured this point, you can switch. Genji would be another good one. Reaper might be another good one, because they can get from one place to another fairly quickly without taking too much damage. So once you get to this point and you have captured this point, there's several ways to go. Health pack in there, which is one that we were shooting at earlier, should you need it. And then you've got the main area here. Which will lead you to the main entrance of this temple. All the way through to the second area, which will be here. This will be the next place of contention for winning the map. This is the last checkpoint, so once you capture this checkpoint, you're done. You're good, you're golden, you've won. But getting there is not so easy, and there are lots of little nooks and crannies in this second portion of the map. Okay, so once you've captured Objective A, which was down there, you'll be on to Objective B. Now, as I mentioned, there's the direct route which takes you through that way. There's this little spot here, which is quite nice, which will show you into this area. Sometimes you'll get a sniper up there, which is quite cool. But you can't really see an awful lot from this particular vantage point, unfortunately. So, if you're a more maneuverable hero, you've got this set of stairs to the right here. This is the capture site A. You use these stairs to come up here, which will bring you up here. If you're Lucio, you can wall run across this wall. If you're Tracer, you can blink across, straight across there. Or you can go across here onto this area here. Now from here, you've got a fairly good view of through this doorway. A reasonably good view through this doorway. Not too bad. You can see up top there in case there's anyone up there, any snipers or anything. And you can also see a little bit down here as well, which is where the enemy will probably be coming from for the most part. But there are lots of other little areas that you can find around here, down here and under here, which I don't think there is anything you can get to up there. But say for example you're playing as Farah, like I am at the moment. If someone was chasing you, you could run in here, pick up this, and then maybe hover up here until they walk past, and then get the drop on them, which is quite nice. But also on this side of the map, there's also we've got a building here, which has got another health pack in, one of the big ones, which is quite cool. And then through here, we've got another little spot which brings you out here, which gives you a fantastic view all the way down the center corridor there of the temple. Now, where those explosions are going off, where the rockets are firing, almost guarantee there will be a bastion or a tourbillon turret down in that kind of area. And from here, the tourbillon turret shouldn't be able to get you because it's only got a range of, I think it's 40 yards, and I think this is further than 40 yards away. So if it is a turret and not a bastion, any sniper or Farah can pick it off from a distance, a few rockets, and it should be gone, which is very, very cool indeed. Now, what else is there? Well, you can get onto this roof, which is quite cool, which also gives you a nice little vantage point through here. Although you can't really see an awful lot, but if there's anyone stood on any of the platforms around there, then you'll be able to see. You should be able to see them, possibly from there. But more importantly, oh, they've taken out this wall, which I didn't even realise until just then. There used to be a wall here, which made it very difficult to get through, but now there isn't, so it's a lot easier. So, as I mentioned, you've got the main entrance here. You've got the left-hand entrance, which wasn't there before, but now is. So that's changed. And then you've got the right-hand side over here as well. Now, if you want, you can just peek around the corner here. Sometimes there's a turret or a bastion in this corner. Quite often there's it's not a bastion, it's quite often it's a turret just set up in that corner because it's kind of difficult to get to because it's got this wall protecting it here. So you can, it might be a nice little spot to kind of just peek around the corner and to try and take that out. Although Farah has obviously got a rocket pack, you can actually jump all the way up and get up onto this point here, and then from this point you can get up here. Now, one of the ways that the enemy team comes out will be from over here. So from this point you're quite exposed, but you get to see quite a lot of where the enemy team is. But from here, obviously you can get onto platforms up here. I mean, this would be a great spot for using your ult. if there's lots of enemies on the point that you're trying to capture. And then over that wall you come into this little spot here. That's where the enemy team comes out through there. So you can sometimes, if you're sneaky, you can get up behind them as they're running to the point, and take them out from behind. There's another health pack down here, another one of the big ones, which is cool. And then if you come in through this way, down here, keep an eye out up here, because there's quite often a sniper of some description, a Hanzo or a Widowmaker. Through here you got a little midi pack that will take you back out to where that large midi pack is that we just saw, and these stairs will take you up to this side of the capture point. Bear in mind that this is another area where the enemy team will be coming out, so if you do come up this way, you need to make sure that there's nothing coming from down here, because if you suddenly turn like this and all your attention is this way, someone could quite easily just come up behind you from here and try and take you out. Don't forget that from this side there is this little cubby hole around here where people tend to hide. It's generally a nice place for a teleporter. So if your enemy team has a teleporter, this is probably where it's going to be, because it's very close to where they come out anyway. So putting it anywhere else is probably not going to be that beneficial. Whereas putting it right here basically means that they can get right back onto the checkpoint to defend it straight away. It's literally just a second. Whereas instead of having to run from all the way down there. So that's something else too. So this will be a spot where Bastion or Torbjorn will have his turret, and that's basically it. I think that's everything. You just need to. One of the main things with any first-person shooters of any kind is that you learn the maps, find out where everything is, find out where the health packs are, and find out where your opponents might be sitting to take you out. So I hope this has helped in some way, possibly, in discovering possible ways of being able to defeat your opponents. I think if you can take the first checkpoint, I think getting the second checkpoint is probably a bit easier now that that wall's been removed. And I believe they have actually made the entrance to that first choke point a little bit wider since this new patch has dropped for the beta. So in theory that should be easier as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if you're playing as an attack on the Temple of Anubis map, that you should do a lot better than maybe you've done previously. Alright, I think that's everything that I needed to talk to you about in regards to this particular map. I hope this helps in some kind of way, maybe, and thanks very much for watching, and maybe I'll do another one of these on another map. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.